wishing
everybody
everyone a
a
very
very
happy
happy
Mother's
Mother's Day.
Day. So guys, I know we haven't made a video in a while, but we were just caught up with all the stuff that's going around. I'm sure it's not news to anyone anymore. But we were also thinking about the things that has changed over time for not only in our family, but the families around us. So today we are going to talk to you guys about the things that this whole COVID-19 and the coronavirus thing has taught us over time, and things that have changed actually for the better. So we actually made a little list of things that we want to talk to you guys about today, and because in a way you guys also have to appreciate everything that's going around, because there are things that are changing for the positive, but it just doesn't get highlighted as much. And I feel just because everyone's so bothered about the numbers that are constantly adding right, yeah, and like it sort of like it doesn't let you focus on the good things that are also happening simultaneously, and you're just caught up in numbers every time that you turn to COVID-19 news. So we actually have a lot to share with you guys in terms of what has happened since this whole outbreak, since
I actually
2020.
just thought of a couple of ideas but people can focus on,
Yeah.
especially with respect to jobs, because some people are facing a hard time with respect to jobs as well.
Absolutely. I
So-
mean, I understand that, the whole hardship is something that not only families are facing, like in one unit, but also as a whole world, we're facing the hardships, right? So I'm sure there are things we can talk about, we can spread amongst each other, so that we still don't let our mojo sort of like die down. So we're gonna start with the list. So guys, so the first thing I think that has changed the world's perception over this whole COVID-19 thing is that we need to start respecting other people's personal space. So especially when you're out in like Walmart or like some grocery shopping or whatever it is that you're outside for, you need to start to sort of build that new norm in you that you're gonna have to respect other people's personal space. So especially when you're in Walmart or grocery shopping, you're in school or whatever, don't get so like up close in somebody's
think
person.
about it as if whatever we were taught as basic manners
Right.
in school, today we have to implement those things.
Right.
And it's the need of the hour, and so in a way we are going back to the basics from that perspective.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, just think about it, like how awkward it is for you to be in somebody else's personal space, or vice versa, for somebody else to be in your personal space. Now this is just going to be the new norm when this whole COVID-19 thing is hopefully soon erased off this planet, and then we step into the new world. The new norms are going to be created. This is just going to be something that's just going to become like an absolute basic for everyone, and it's for the good, actually, because this way people have this fear inside of them that they might get infected or infect someone else. So it's actually, if you ask me, I
And
mean,
it's a good practice, one of the positives of this situation.
yeah, for sure. I mean, like, think about it. If it's gonna help you now, it cannot hurt you later, right? So
Yeah.
so that's always good. And the other thing that I want to talk about is this whole technology thing that's out there, WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram. Don't get me wrong, they're all great, because right now this is the only way you can stay connected to the people that matter to you a lot. Your family, your loved ones, your friends, your anybody who you care about. And especially I want to talk about the fact that the patients that are in hospital, or the people that are under isolation, for them to still have some sort of human interaction, these technology platforms sort of come and come help them. But at the same time, I think we also have learned about the fact how no technology, no matter what that platform is, can ever replace sort of human interaction. I think now if you go ask anyone, like if they want to put their phones down and just go hang out with people, they'd rather do that. Like, they would probably leave their phones home, go outside and like hang out with people, just like how it used to be, like,
Because people long to for social interaction during this time.
Exactly.
Is
Yeah.
that
I
what you
mean,
mean?
because before, like when we had like no social media, no cell phones or anything of that sort, especially when we were growing up, right? Our parents didn't have these things, and they still had a perfect social life out there. It is because I think from back in those days, people really valued this whole human interaction thing, and like how important it is for one to be in someone's personal touch, especially if you care about them. Like, let's say if it's someone's birthday, don't just pick up the phone and like send them a text. They deserve more than that, especially if you care about these people,
If
right?
they are, if you can drive up to their place
Yeah, no,
physically.
I mean, don't take no, don't get me wrong, don't book a plane ticket.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just encouraging people to
Like giving them a surprise if you're in the same city as they are, or
Yeah.
if they're in any way, within driving distance.
exactly.
But yeah, if you're hundreds of miles away, then technology does have a role to play to make life easier for you.
True.
But even in the same city, for example, in those families where parents live in separate houses, and the children are married and have their separate families, maybe 10-15 minutes away, but they probably don't meet for months.
Yeah.
So because their children probably have jobs and have busy lives. But
Busy is right.
yeah. So during this time, I think people will understand the value of actually meeting someone whom you actually can meet, who
True.
is
And the
close
people
by.
that matter in your life,
Right,
right? Because
right.
they deserve that. So yeah. So
That's another positive of
yeah,
the
for
situation.
sure.
Yeah. So another positive I would like to talk about the situation is we've actually learned how the nature is healing itself during this time, mainly because there are less vehicles on the road. There are less factories which are operational right now.
Yeah.
So a lot of those chemicals which cause harm to our environment are actually not being produced at this time.
True.
So I know people are affected because of that, but think about it. We take breathing clean air for granted, but today we are actually getting it as a consequence of this situation. So that is another positive. And for all you know, this is something you cannot measure, because how can you measure the clean air that you are actually breathing in? How can you measure that your lungs are actually accepting the clean air more than what it used to before?
Right.
But like if you see an average person's lungs, then in the form of an X-ray, you would actually find on average, someone living in and around a city will have some black spots in their lungs. That's because of the kind of air they breathe, and that rate in this whole year of 2020 and 2021 is going to reduce the
Go
rate.
down, yeah.
The rate at which your lungs are actually getting polluted. So that's
And I
another
think it's a
positive
good thing that right after the whole Australian wildfire, this COVID-19 sort of came in and was like, everybody go home. No more camping for you guys.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Yeah.
That's a great example actually,
Yeah.
because a lot of these forest fires are 90% of them are actually man-made.
Yeah.
It's because people don't put off their fires properly, or they're smoking while they're hiking, and they just leave their lit cigarettes somewhere on dry grass. So that's definitely one of the positives. People are forced to stay inside. People are forced to leave nature alone and
Yeah.
let nature take care of itself.
And it can heal itself beautifully.
Right,
like you
right.
don't need humans to heal
Mother
nature.
nature is actually teaching us who's the boss. Right
True,
now.
true,
Yeah.
that's true. You know what? I really like that. I'm gonna use that somewhere. Mother Nature is the boss, right? I mean, if you think about it, like you're referring to nature as mother, and mothers always know the best. So,
Yeah.
and it's Mother's Day, so happy Mother's Day to our planet Earth also,
To Mother
right?
Nature. Yeah. Yeah, it's great. We
Yeah.
actually thought of that on the fly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just full of great ideas.
So yeah, another positive thing is that we need to respect, and we are learning to respect other lives on this planet during this time. Uh, there was a time, actually, for many years, we've been capturing animals for human recreation in zoos, and some people even have, private zoos where they keep animals for their entertainment. Uh, but
The rich
now,
people, mostly.
but now people themselves are locked in. So it goes back to what we've learned in school. Man is just another kind of animal, and
Yeah.
we are locked in because we actually don't have a way out of protecting ourselves, rather than remaining locked in as much as possible. So we can go out with a mask, but we can't stay outside all the time, especially due to weather conditions, and due to this reason we need to come back home for basic necessities. So
And I think this is where the whole what goes around comes into place also. Like, there was a period in time, now I want to refer to that period as being history, because I hope in the new world that won't be the norm, that we used to cage animals, now we are caged and animals are just taking over the streets. So that's just gonna be the new norm.
if you think about it, if any of you, any of the viewers watching this video are from India, when people, my wife is from Canada, so I'll have to explain this to her. So in India, when you were back in India, you must have seen there are a lot of stray dogs. And these days, because number of people walking on the road are less, the number of stray dogs have increased.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow,
And they're
okay.
barking away to glory.
Wow.
So
Is it the same with the cows too?
well, I am not sure about that, because most cows are domesticated, they're in farms.
Okay.
But these stray dogs are actually roaming around on roads.
Oh, okay.
So, and a lot of these dogs, now India doesn't really have a very good animal care setup. So a lot of these dogs are actually terminated because they are a menace to society. Some of them end up biting people, etc. But now people have no option, right?
Yeah.
People are not walking around all the time, so
They're getting back like what they
and-
did. They're getting paid back
and-
for
and-
that.
and dogs and cats get to breed more, right?
Yeah,
now.
true.
So yeah, nature. It goes back to a previous point we were talking about. Nature has its own way of balancing the numbers again.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
that's another positive thing.
And I think the other thing that's sort of, because we're caged in at home, and we can't sort of interfere with Mother Nature, and everything that's set in place by Mother Nature, is forget about outside. Stay home, keep your own home clean. I think that is something that everybody is truly religiously following now, that has become a new religion for everyone, that keep yourself clean, keep your surroundings clean. Now, whenever me and my husband, we step out, when we come back home, we have a routine as to what we need to do before we can start touching things around. So there's a table for us where we keep everything that we bring with us from outside, right on that table. Then we obviously put our jackets away. We obviously go wash our hands, wash our face.
We sanitize the door handles.
Yeah, and then we sit down with our phones to clean our phones, because you probably wouldn't notice this when you're outside, that you're gonna start touching your phone, and it's so normal for us to sort of pick our
And
phone.
there is a lot of dirt that settles down on your phones.
The
in
cracks,
the
yeah.
tiny crevices,
Yeah, for sure.
which are around the areas where the phone folds and different parts fit into a phone to make it complete.
True.
So
it's
necessary to just make sure that you have a bottle of alcohol at home.
We
and-
keep it right where we keep our outside stuff, so that bottle doesn't even get to sort of be around the things that we use while we're home. So we have a separate bottle for cleaning just the things that come from outside. And it's important when you think about it. Like, no matter if you're wearing a glove, if you're wearing mittens, whatever it is that you're wearing, or if you're not wearing anything, if you're handling phone, your car keys, your glasses or anything of that sort, you're supposed to sanitize those things as well. And especially because they're either metal or plastic, and I believe it lives on metal or plastic for like a day or two or something like that. So
it's definitely days.
yeah, so you
Few
want to
days.
be very careful with that, because you might not think about it, but they are very, very crucial for your good health. And also, like, once you're tired of cleaning everything, the other thing you can do, which this is like my newfound interest. Like, I used to love cooking anyways, but now I'm just like becoming this quarantine chef, because what else can you do when you're home? If you want to feel productive, it is very important for you to do positive things. And one of the things that is very positive, in my opinion, is cooking good food, because
I'm enjoying the byproduct of that. So
because
she's cooking some of the best things that I've ever tasted. And
I am too. Like, I didn't even know I am able to prepare such intricate, such, complicated
Delicacies.
dishes. Yeah. Because, what else can you do
Talk
when you're
about
home?
Italian, talk about Mediterranean. She's preparing it all.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
I'm having a good time at home, definitely. I'm not missing food, from outside.
Yeah, and see, the other thing is, like, because when you're home, you're cooking your own good food. Yeah, you can say, oh my God, we're gonna gain pounds, but then you can also be mindful of how much of what it is that you're having, right? I mean, the other good part about cooking your own food is you know exactly what it is that you're putting inside your body. You don't have to think about any ingredient that you can't even pronounce, let alone, like, sort of putting it inside your body, and then you don't even know what it's gonna do to the inside of your body, and like over time too. So over time, I think I've prepared ice cream. Yesterday I made falafel wraps. It's like a Mediterranean wrap that's the base is for the falafel chickpeas. So chickpeas are healthy that way. So I mean, I have that newfound interest, sort
Love.
of. Yeah.
I mean, she always enjoyed cooking, but right now it's become more than a hobby.
Yeah.
It's become, I think, part of daily life, that you have to look up something interesting.
True.
And think of something interesting and give it your own twist.
Yeah,
And
because it's like your creative let out too, right? I mean, you probably have that streak somewhere inside of you, because you're human, and eating food and like sustaining life that way, it's necessary to you living. So I mean, I'm sure everybody has that little bit of creative skill inside of them, where they can, like, be creative with food and cooking, because who doesn't like to eat food, right?
Absolutely.
So you should definitely dig into that and look
And
more
yeah,
into it.
I would also like to add one more point regarding our previous point of how cleanliness is enforced on us. It's a good practice and it's enforced on us during this time. When it comes to phones, kids use a lot of phones.
Oh
these
yeah,
days.
for sure.
So and sometimes kids don't have phones, so they use their parents' phones. So cleaning your phone as soon as you step inside your house is very important.
Yeah.
Because,
And
your
also with the whole
kids might
COVID
get
toes
affected.
thing, right? Because
Yeah.
I was reading news about how COVID toes is like something that is, it's hiding under the whole COVID-19 blanket, but it will sort of creep up on people eventually. I mean,
And it's affecting kids, so you might
Yeah.
want to watch out for that.
Yeah.
Make sure you're, when you come back from anywhere, then you do watch your feet and have your kids also wash their feet.
yeah, if you guys already didn't know about this whole COVID toes thing, read up on that. It is affecting kids mainly. So that is something you should definitely put a little bit of research in.
So that's the video, guys.
And thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to, come and like be able to entertain you guys, give you guys some information, and then, just share your family time with us. So I want to thank you guys, and then we'll catch you guys next time. So until then, don't forget to fulfill all your dreams and to inspire everyone that you meet in your life. And you guys take care of yourself.
And do smash that like button if you like our video.
And subscribe, please.